everybody. I know I'm late and I'm really sorry. Let's see. I was enjoying breakfast with my husband. And it was quite pleasant actually. He made sausage gravy, so it was really yummy. All right, let me get to my thing here so I can see who's here, and I'm sure I'm going to hear about how I was late, but I know you guys will be all right. Oh my goodness, you guys, Nancy and Paula, and I don't know who else. Lots of other people. Yay! So welcome to the Tuesday edition of Coffee and Cards. I am very happy that you're here today. I have a fun step card, 3-level card that we're going to be doing. So, and it's different. Good morning, Kathy. I do want to pull over, and I apologize, but I've been busy. I want to bring in a couple of the new things because I know you want to see more new stuff. I showed you ribbon last time, and I showed you the in colors, and this time I want to show you a product suite this time. And let me get all the pieces. Oh, hang on. I want to grab one more thing. Good morning, Sue. 25 minutes. You know we're not going to be able to get things done in 25 minutes. All right, so look what I got. I got our catalogs, and you'll notice that mine is bound. For those of you that have placed an order with me for $50, if you want to pay an extra $5, I will bind you well. So this is going to be the one time, and I'll bring it up one time on my blog. If you want to have your book put in the spiral, then I will happily do that for you for $5. I'm not making any money. I'm just going to take over a bunch and do a bunch at a time and be done with it. So let me know if that's something you want to do. I did do, normally I laminate mine, but this time I did just like a laminate. It's a thicker plastic sheet cover. But you guys, how pretty is that? Love it. So excited. Paula, I don't know where yours is. All right, so this, and I can't show you the page, but I don't want to, give you the wrong information. Paula, yours is in the mail. I don't know what to tell you. Bear with me. I'm sorry. Just one moment. I know that I didn't get the reminders, and I apologize. I noticed that the reminder was set for PM instead of AM. Nah. All right. Where is... All right, because I want to get all the information correct. There we go. So this product suite that I'm about to show you is the first product suite that I purchased. And does anybody guesses? Those that are demonstrators, you know what the possibilities were. And I'm super excited because it's stamped die cuts, embossing, and designer series paper. And then of course there's always embellishments. I love embellishments. I am super excited about this product suite because it totally spoke to me from the very beginning. for a couple of reasons. So I'm going to show you the stamp set because it's just super pretty. All right, so here is the stamp set. It's called, the suite itself is called In Good Taste. And I'm hoping that when it pops up that we can see it. And I wish I knew who else was here, because there's some other people here and I can't see. Oh, there we go. I was doing good the first time in. So the sentiments are, and I'll read them to you. You are so special. You are the best. Just saying hello. The good things in life are better with you. And then there's some embellishments and different things like that. But my favorite part of this, we are so overdue for die cut set like this. This die cut set is reminiscent of, in my opinion, of course, reminiscent of the old apothecary sets that we used to have. Ooh, don't spill the coffee. And these are the die cuts. And put them up here like this. So in the die cut set, there are, how many dies? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like 10. 10 dies. And all different nice looking shapes. Now, I already have an idea of something that I want to do with this one. We're not going to be using it today, I'm going to admit. We will not. I'm just sharing from the box. But even a little banner, because we love banners, a little banner, and these two right here, I'm thinking they're not necessarily scallop, but kind of. And it also looks like they're a double stitch. I haven't used them yet. You guys saw me take them out of the plastic package. So this is the die cut set. And let me put it back in the sleeve. And then the next thing is, and I'm not going to take this out because you won't be able to see it anyways, but is this textured, the Tasteful Textile embossing folder. And this is a 3D embossing folder, which means that it's got a couple of different levels that it embosses. So there's some deep embossing and then there's some super light embossing. So Kathy asked if all the dies were stitched. I'm looking back. No, not all the dies are stitched. Some of them, this looks like it has a stitch on it, but this one here has like a double frame. So this one is, the banner is stitched, but these two are like double frames. And this banner is stitched, but, and then this outline one is stitched, but this middle one looks like just an indentation. So like a line emboss and then a cut. So it'll be cool to check it out. Haven't had time to play with that yet. All right, because I've been working on prizes. The postman came today. All the prizes are gone. Prizes and birthday cards and thank you cards and thinking of you cards and all kinds of cards. He had a slew of cards. They were in a rubber band. There were so many cards. So postman came and left. All right, so the next thing that we have from this In Good Taste suite is we have some wood embellishments. We have that, and then we have that. So these kind of remind me of the glass embellishments that were in the Everything is Rosy. And this is some nice texture on those leaves. Kind of reminds me of a bigger version of the trinkets from the Rooted in Nature. So that's going to be fun to play with. And you know I love my wood elements. But here's the other thing for me that was like, yes, please. It was the paper. Paper, paper, and paper. This paper pack is part of the paper share. And by the way, I have the paper share figured out. There's going to be a regular paper share, and there's going to be 2 additional options on the paper share this time. There's also a mini ribbon share, which will be just the in color ribbons that you guys saw on Saturday. And then in color club. So for those of you really quick that are not familiar with in color club is you have to commit to 5 months of paying a certain amount of money each time the person everybody gets, all 5 people get a turn at being the hostess, and by the time you're done you'll get full bolts of ribbon, full cardstock packs, full-size ink, full-size embellishments, and the designer series paper, and the markers, the marvelous markers, the regular markers. So very, very cool to be part of In Color Club. All right, so this, what I'm about to show you is the designer series paper that's in the In Good Taste. So there's wood grain on one side, and then there's hex tiles on the other side. And there is like a burlap look on one side, Morning Lynn, and then a wood grain tile on the other side. And then wood paneling in like a dark brown. Good morning, Jen. Like a dark brown on this side, but then you've got like kind of like a German schmear with some different colors in it on the other side. And then you have a lighter wood panel on this side. Jan, your packages went out, or your one package. I got everything to fit in one package, Jan. So that's the wood grain on that side, but then you've got this really nice and super duper trendy right now, that that tile look, that blue and white tile look. And then this one side, you've kind of got like a concrete look, like a brushed concrete. And then you have a stack tile, and I would probably put it that way, a stack tile look on this side. Another wood on this side. And this is like a bigger plank. And then you've got this nice woven fabric on the other side. And this is the first time I've seen them all in person, you guys. This is really cool. I'm super excited about this. This one is, I want to say that's probably like a flirty flamingo pattern. And then the other side is a super cool, like, chevron marble look. I would probably do it this way. Kind of cool. And the next pattern, and you guys, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more patterns in here. This one is totally that German schmear. Kind of looks like you brushed on a bunch of embossing paste on a piece of paper. And then this other side is another different type of stack tile. And then a blue version of what we just saw. Plus another chevron, or there's a name for that pattern, that tile pattern, and I don't remember what it's called. So far, I think this next one might be my favorite. There's that nice wood. It's got a little bit of soft suede, a little gray, a little cream. And then the other side is just this nice woven fabric type of look. And stay. Blue jeans are next. Blue jeans. And then a more simple blue and white tile. Ooh, here's another good one. A little lighter wood on this one. A super light wood on this one. Like that. And I can't get that last piece out, so I'm going to just flip it over. So, you know what? Jan says that there's a lot of industrial looks in here. I actually think, Jan, that that's a lot of current home trends right now is what this paper is all about. Very on trend with colors and very on trend with wood colors, and even that like that schmear look. That is super duper home decor trendy right now, all of that. Which, you guys are looking at me, I know, you're looking at your screen, you're like, Jennifer, what the heck does that have to do with cards? Actually, it's amazing how on trend, to me, this paper pack and this stamp set really is. And as always, the book never ever does the designer series paper justice. But that paper pack, the In Good Taste designer series paper will be part of the paper share. So you will get, when I do paper shares, and I don't know if anybody here, I don't think you were here, Kathy or Lynn, when I did paper shares last time. So when I do paper shares, I total up all of the paper and I divide it by 4. So everybody gets a 6x6 of each. So there's 24 packs or 24 pieces in this pack. You will get 24 6x6 pieces of this paper. That's a lot of paper. And then you add it up, and I don't remember how many different designer series papers there are. You get, for how much ever the count is, so like 12 by 12 sheets, you get a 6x6 of all 12 colors. So in the 6x6s, it works a little bit different. But anyways, paper share is a great way to get to spend a little bit of money and get a whole bunch of stuff. All right. I've been very busy, so thankfully with some help, I have prizes right here. paper pack prizes. And the prizes for the Facebook Live on 4/25 is Doug Gardner. Believe it or not. Woohoo, Doug won a prize. And for 5/2, Becky wins a prize. And then for 5/5, Brenda wins a prize. Brenda is a fellow Knox and fellow business owner. She shared the video and she wins a prize. And then the last one is for Paula. That's for the 5/9 video. And these cards were picked specific just for Paula. Now, I am ahead now too. I have the cards picked already for the next 3 Facebook Lives. 1, 2, 3. So, already ready, wrapped up, ready to go. So, prizes will be easy to check and to look and see who the winners are. But to win the prize, what do you have to do, Paula? What do you have to do, Paula, to win the prize? I'm going to go around to the other side of the table while Paula answers that question. Around I go to the other side of the table. I'm going to get some stuff. Oh, and I have such an exciting treat. Hey, Linda. So happy you could join me. All right, ladies. Cover your eyes, boys and girls, because I'm moving the camera. All right, let's see. How did we do? Ooh, we did pretty good. All right. So happy that you guys are here with me today. Paula? Are you still here, Paula? I hope so. Oh, I forgot to grab something. See what happens? I get sidetracked with my husband, and I forgot to grab something. Forgot. All right, sorry about moving the table. Here's what we're going to do today. We are going to close your eyes, guys. Apparently there we go. All right. I'm going to move the trimmer because I don't need it for right now. That's exactly right, Paula. That's good job, Jan. Yay! All right. I grabbed out of my scrap card base bin, I grabbed 3 different bases because we're going to be doing 3 different cards. And I know why I had that trimmer in here, because I wanted to make sure that they were all the right size. So we're doing them all the same. They're going to be 5.5 by 3, or by 3.5, yeah. 5.5 by 8.5. And then we're going to score at 4.25. Now, what's the saying? The saying is dark as death. Dark as death because that's the cutter. That's okay, Paula. I was just teasing. All right, so we're going to score all 3 of these at 4.25. And then, do you guys remember the fancy fold that we did last week? We're going to score at 4, and we're going to score at 6. All right, we should be done with that. The next thing, so you need 3 card bases plus a 5.25 by, oh no, 5.25, sorry, 5.25 by 8 inch piece of Whisper White. And then you're going to need 3 pieces, 1, 2, 3, of Whisper White at 3 3/4 by 5 inches. You're going to need your black of choice, whether it be Memento or StazOn. And I'm not going to be using water on any of these cards, so Memento works fine. And then you're going to need some scrap white, because we're going to do a little bit of punching. And then you're going to need another color. I'm going to pick, what am I going to pick? What should I pick? What's going to be one color that will work really nicely with all of these? And I don't want to do brown. Brown's kind of bleh. What else could we use? We could use purple, because the purple would look good with all of those. But I'm sure you guys are sick of looking at purple. We could do yellow, because that's Paula's favorite. Yellow would look good with all of those. Or we could do a green. Green, I don't know how that would look with the Bermuda Bay. But a blue would be pretty with all of those too. Let's do a blue. I think we'll do, actually, you know what? We're just going to pull in the Bermuda Bay. We're going to use a blue. All right, so 2 inks, 3 card bases, that Whisper White piece, a scrap piece, and then 3 fronts. And this is all that you're going to need. And a stamp set, of course. And a punch. Because eventually we're going to use a punch, but not the first time. So the first one that we'll do is we're using this Accented Blooms stamp set, and it has a hello and a thank you. Now the stamp set itself, it's been around for a couple of years. Oh my gosh, these blocks are filthy. It's been around for a couple of years. However, I think that the flowers are super pretty. And I think for this one, I think we're going to go with the Memento Black. Because who doesn't have some sort of crayon or color pencil or something to be able to color in an image? And there's your image for that. But here's the tricky part. Oh, hold your breath, girls. Oh, actually, no, we don't have to do that. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to take a different sentiment, a smaller sentiment, and put that in that part. Because for this one, I want to do just stamp, ink, and paper. So we're going to take our Bermuda Bay, and actually, I think we're just going to do this part in Bermuda Bay. Up here at the top, and down here at the bottom. Just like that. And will that fit in there? And we'll do this with the black. Oh, I can't see anybody. Kathy, I can't see her. So I'm glad that she's here. So thank you for watching. And then we'll do that. Oh, how did we do? Oh, no. Look it. Can't see it because I didn't get those down far enough. So guess what? We're going to flip it over. we're going to try again. Thank goodness there's two sides. That's okay, right? Debbie, say something so we can say hello. So happy you could join us. We're going to do our sentiment first. Oh, wow. Apparently, and then we'll go up a little bit higher. There we go. So that we can, there, that'll work. There we go. Always thinking of you. And we'll put this one, I think, on the Bermuda Bay. Here's our card base that we made up, we scored ahead of time. And we're going to layer this on top of this. Here is just a simple card. You could set up your Stamparatus to do this. There's lots and lots of options in regards to what you could do. So this one, we're just going to take our tape runner and we're going to put our glue on here and we're going to put this just like this. And we could do, you know, a couple of corners of the Bermuda Bay. We could do a lot of different things. But I would do a little bit of coloring and then leave it just like that. So there's card number 1. Moving on to 2. Number 2, we're going to get a little bit more fancy this time. We're going to stamp our image, just like this. And for this one, we're going to bring in our scrap piece of paper because I want to stamp the thank you. Now that is a reverse image. So you're going to want to be sure that it gets inked up really well. So see how I double check to make sure I've got enough ink on that stamp. And you'll see this is where the magic happens. We're going to stamp it. Just like that. And then we're going to bring in the tailored tag punch that is a carryover item. And we're going to punch it out. Just like that. And then, of course, I'm going to put that on dimensionals. But I can still color the flowers. Put the thank you right in there. So I'm going to close up the ink for a minute, or 2 inks. And for this one, I'm going to pull in my colored pencils because I have Bermuda Bay in my colored pencils. And I'm going to color a couple of these flowers. But I'm going to show you a trick because you girls know how I love tricks. You don't have to be an expert colorer, because I have a magic a magic tool. Maybe. Where is it? I know I have one. There it is. So you see, not the best coloring ability, but I'm going to take my blender pen and I'm going to work those squiggles and look at the difference. And then we can go in and add a little bit of darkening or shading to do a little bit of highlighting and add a little bit of dimension to your coloring. But when you're done using a color, you want to wipe it off if we're moving to a different color, because it has residual pigment on the blender. And I'm going to do the same thing up here. And this needs a little bit. Wow. Are you guys that engaged today? Or are you sleeping on me? Oh, my Jenny Wren's out there singing. So there's our additional color. Now you could color the whole thing, or you could just color those couple of things. What I would like to do actually is I'm going to actually get my blue off of my, I'm going to do a couple of the leaves as well. And for this, you're going to want to move things around just to highlight a little bit. And what's nice is that it's easy because it doesn't take a lot to add just a little bit of color, and I'll show you the difference. And you don't have to have a ton of ability, okay? But look at the difference between that and the first card. Both very pretty, because I love a good black and white. But look at how those flowers and then that thank you sentiment just pop. So here's just stamp ink and paper. Here's just adding a little bit of color and a punch. And I think we're going to actually put this one on the purple. Wait till you see what that's going to do. Look at that. Woo, that's pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. And we'll put this on with tape runner. Just like this. And there you go. I love it on that purple. That turned out really pretty. All right, girls. Stamp ink paper, adding a punch. What am I going to do this next time? Who knows? All right, remember, I said we're going to do a fancy fold. Got to remember to get that residual ink off of your blender pen. All right, putting those back. All right, we've got one piece of paper here. And it's going to be a little bit big for how I want it to be. So, thank you, Kathy. What do you guys think of that? Tell me, tell me. Is that something? We've never done anything like this, you guys. So what do you think? All right, so I'm waiting for your comments. While you're doing that, I'm going to stamp this next image. And this time, I'm going to stamp down at the bottom because you know I have a plan. Always have a plan. Oh, Kathy, I would color it all too. Trust me. I would too, but it's equally as pretty simple. So that's my whole point. All right, we want a piece about like that. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. All right, hopefully this will get me where I want to go. All right, here is, and I didn't measure, 3.5 by 3 3/4. So 3 3/4 by 4. All right. Things are going to start to get tricky here, boys and girls. I hope you're ready. Here is our stamped image, and we're going to put this on the Bermuda Bay piece, just like that. And we're going to cover this. But this is where things are going to start getting a little bit tricky. Keep hold, cross your fingers. Did I do? Oh. What about this way? Nope. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Okay. So, I wanted to punch that out. And I would have been able to punch out the Whisper White piece, but I can't because I adhered it onto this piece. So, scissors to the rescue. I was really hoping that I wouldn't have to do this way. And I do want, there we go. I do want a decent cut here. And just use the square. Or the square, the tailored tag pattern that's on here. And cut along the stamped image that you have here for the tag. Just like this. And we'll finish our cut. You want a clean edge here, you guys. There we go. So there's our clean edge. And then Oh, I don't know about that on that. Are we liking that on the Bermuda Bay on that Poppy Parade? Or do we like it on would we like it on a different color? Let's see what other color base I have. All right, here are the options. I have options available, so hang on. All right, here are our options. Poppy Parade, soft suede, Highland Heather again, or I want to say that's crushed curry. I think that's crushed curry. Good morning, Carolyn. That's the decision. Where does this need to go? Where, oh where? Where, oh where does it need to go? What do you think? Kind of crazy. Poppy. Kathy likes the poppy. Okay. So I got one vote for the poppy. Anybody else have another vote? I know what Paula's vote's going to be. Okay. How about Nancy? Jan says the heather or the yellow. What to do, what to do. While you guys are deciding, Nancy says yellow. I know Paula's going to say yellow. All right. Sorry, Kathy. I have to say, Kathy, I'm with them. I didn't like it with the poppy. I'm kind of digging it with the yellow, though. I think that'll be pretty. I think that'll be good. Because then what we'll do is we'll bring in some marigolds. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that, Paula. I already knew that. I knew the answer to that question. We'll do some marigolds. Actually, this yellow is not super bright. It's more of a deeper color. But it will lend very nicely to what we're going to do here. Also. And I think we're going to do two-tone colors on this one as well. I have both sets of watercolor pencils, which is nice because there is a lot of different colors. Because there's, I want to say that one's Daffodil Delight. There's, okay. Thanks for joining, Kathy. I agree. Thanks. It depends on the message. Jan, these are going to be all thank you cards, so I think they're all good. All right, so here is where we're going to start. Bringing that blender pen back in. And we're going to blend up these. Flowers. Soften up that look a little bit. Add a little bit of color variation to that flower because of the two-tone colors that we used. And I can do that even more by bringing that color back in and building up the color a little bit. And then cleaning my blender pen off and just blending in those strokes that I just did. So adding that little bit of blue-green and that more of a yellow-blue to change the way that that color goes. And then what we'll do for the middle is I think we're going to add in a little bit of this pumpkin pie. And we're also going to add in a little bit of this yellow. We're going to clean our blender pen. And we're going to mix that up a little bit. And then we'll add in a little bit of blending on our marigolds. Just like that. So there is some technique to use on your flowers. Clean off your blender pen. Just like that. And then we can work, this is Granny Apple Green. I'm going to pull the old olive back in. Because what we'll do with this is we'll do our lines with the old olive. And then we'll do a little bit of lighter shading on here. The same leaves that we did the last time with the Granny Apple. And then there's your leaves on that too. And we can go through and we can do all the flowers. However, there's more to this card than what we've got going on here. So we're going to fold our card base. Just like this. And we need to situate this where it's going to be. And I'm thinking we're going to have a little bit more of a top on it. So it'll be kind of like that. Obviously straight. There we go. So would you guys agree? Because what we have to do is we have to take our pencil and we're going to cut this out. Now, and the thing is, when we're cutting this one out, we need to do the cut on the outside of the cut of the pencil mark because of our punch that we're going to be adding to it. So you want to go a little bit outside of the pencil mark, just like this. So see where I'm cutting the pencil mark? I'm cutting to the right of the pencil mark. And just taking my time so I have a nice cut, because I knew that the punch would not fit through, be able to slip through here. And thank you, Jan. I was beginning to wonder, maybe I was here by myself. All right. Not the best cut job, but guess what? It's not going to matter because you won't entirely see it because we have this that'll be out over it, just like that. And we are going to use dimensionals on this part. So we're going to put our dimensionals around our four corners, and maybe we'll do some of these. Oh. See, Joe made breakfast and I can't even concentrate. I think because my tummy's full. Silly, right? All right. Jumpers. Jumpers, jumpers. Oh, wrong way. All right, so there's our nails because we want to make sure that this puffs up properly so that our fold for the inside will work. Make sure your flowers are the right direction. And there we go. Now, the inside. You guys remember the inside? I already scored it. So here's our piece at 5 1/4 by 8. Dimensional tops, and then you score at 4 and you score at 6. So here is how the score or the fold goes, because we do love our fancy folds, don't we, girls? Fancy, fancy. So this is going to get in here, and then our thank you part is going to be on the inside. And we are going to use the same ink, the Bermuda Bay ink. Make sure that our stamp is fully covered. Looks pretty good to me. What do you girls think? Looks good? I'm thinking it looks pretty juicy. And I don't know if I have enough room for that. And there's our thank you. And we're going to line it up with our punch. Just like that. Now you could do another punch of this and line it on the inside. And how would we do that? I'm going to show you. We're going to take this punched image. I'm going to close my ink. We're going to bring back our trimmer super quick because And you could do this with scissors. However, going to cut this in half, and you could cut it either way that you wanted. And that way then we can do this like this. We're gonna do tape runner and tape runner. And we're gonna line this up so that there's a small reveal on each end. Just like that. And we're going to want to tack this in here because I still want to stamp. We probably should stamp first before I adhere this. But then this, I want you guys to be able to see. Maybe. This is where we're going, so that it goes like that. But what should we put on the inside here? I'm thinking that we're gonna do, I like this little corner, and oh, don't put that in the ink. And I think we're gonna do each of these corners with that little edge. Just to kind of pretty it up a little bit. And then what was that other sentiment that was in there? Oh, big ways, small ways, love you always. Or always thinking of you. Which one of those with the thank you should we do? Which one? Which one? Which one? Anybody have a thought? That little greenery piece is cute too. So if we use the thank you, like what we punched out already, which would we like to use with that? Always thinking is what Jan says. Love you always is what Lynn says. Paula, Nancy. Big ways or always? Paula says thinking of you. Okay, so always for Paula. Always thinking of you. So thank you, always thinking of you. I like that. All right, and I don't have to get it out of the thing because it's already out, which is another bonus. And I think what we're going to do for this one, I think we're actually going to do that in the black. Because what I'm going to do next, I think we'll do that little flower pattern underneath. Oh. That's much better. We'll do this little flower underneath and we'll color it. This little flower. Just like that. So cute. Love it. Excuse me, you guys. Sorry. And we're going to color it in the Bermuda Bay. And a little of the green. And whoop, flinging things at myself here, girls. right, where's my pencil? So we're just going to blend this together. There we go. So there's our inside. There we go, so you guys can see. Just a little simple addition. And we'll put this on. Just a little addition. And we're gonna get our putty end of our, take your pick tool. Right now my brush is on it because I'm working on some stuff. And we want to line this up. That's why I have the putty end, because I want to be able to position this where I want it. You guys happy with that? I think I'm happy with that. For this part, we're going to, oh shoot. For this part, I'm just going to put glue on here. And we'll glue it on so that we don't have to worry about it moving around. There we go. There's the third card. Little fancy fold for today, using the fancy fold that we did the other day. And there we go. Now I got a big mess to clean up, but that's okay. That is okay. Now, what could we do to hide that? To clean up that edge. To clean up that edge, we could just cover it. Just like that. And I think I'm going to do that because I don't want it looking unfinished when I send it. And if I don't do it now, what's going to happen? I'm going to forget, and goodness knows if I'll catch it or not. I would hope that I would, but that's not always the case. So make sure that that's tucked in and that it's all covered. And this is why we use the multi-glue, because it gives us a minute to get things organized. So there we've got a nice clean edge there too. And I think, there we go. Got a nice clean edge in the back for when we open up the card. It looks like that. There we go. All right, ladies. 1, 2, and 3. 3 different options using the same retiring stamp set and colored pencils, because we do like to color. I really like to color. It is very relaxing. This needs some purple, I'm thinking. Anybody have any questions? Just remember, 2 sides to every paper. You don't have to be a fantastic colorer. And you just have to try something different. As always, ladies, it is great to have you with me. I am very, very grateful. And don't forget, you want to win a prize. You know what to do. Please help others learn new things. You never know what people will take out of it. We like to color, all different. Thanks, Jen. Oh, thank you, Paula. Thanks, Nancy. Thanks, Lynn. Thank you, Kathy, for watching the replay finishing. Thanks, Jan. And I hope you guys have a great day getting crafty, and I will see you for Crafty Thursday. Bye.